Okay, here with race 4 winner yesterday at Southern National Championships, Nigel Thomas.
Good morning.
Good morning. Light wind specialist, I might add.
That's a bit of a worry, isn't it?
I think I put that in my intro report before the event, so and you've proved me right.
Spot on.
Proved me right. So yeah, great win yesterday.
Thank you.
That bit of lift, left-hand lift, helped as well, but you obviously sniffed that one out.
It does help. It does help. But
you've got to have the speed as well, though. So let's just talk through light wind sailing 101 with Nigel Thomas.
Right. Where do we start? So I guess maybe the background is I quite like things to be simple. So I'm not into having, I've got no D-raker. I've taken the D-raker off.
Okay.
I've only got one mast chock, and basically I'll just have generally one setting. So for me, mentally, that's kind of good for me. I don't have to worry about any other settings. But so I have a couple of things here. So I use an HD. I've also got a North P2. I generally like the HD, so that's my kind of sail of choice. You can see here on the on the tacks, so the tack on the HD is in a totally different place to the North.
Okay.
So some people, I think, I probably spent a couple of years trying to pull this into the lower block. Because of course, as soon as you tighten it, you're just putting loads of Cunningham on. So over the years, this point I've gradually raised and raised.
Mm-hmm. So that's actually quite critical then.
I think it is, because it just needs to be at a sensible height. Anyway, I'm certainly not slow, so to me that's what I like.
Yeah.
I tend to, for me, even like yesterday. So what are we sailing in? So what, 5, 8, 9, 10 knots max. I tend to just lock this off in the centre.
Yeah.
Again, my sort of principle is just keep it simple, and for me, upwind, the most important thing is the vang. So so the mast, I use a Zeta.
Yeah.
I've had a D+ over the years. I think that just had too much power for me. So the Zeta works, but it's a bit more, I call it twitchy. So as soon as the breeze comes up, a bit more bend. To compensate, I'll put a bit more vang on.
Okay.
And if you put a bit more vang on, the boom goes out. So you put the vang on, then you've got a sheet in. So this will still be over. This is too far in at the moment, but it'll still be somewhere between here. So really, all I'm doing is just, as the pressure builds a little, I'll use a bit more vang. That helps with a bit more pointing. And as it goes softer, ease the vang and just ease the main out. So it's constantly just trying to find that little zone.
Yeah.
Pinching, forget it. Don't go there. And then things like offwind. Well, the only thing I'm really doing is letting off the Cunningham. I mean, upwind yesterday, I'm having hardly any Cunningham anyway.
Yeah.
But going offwind, let the the in-haul Cunningham off. For the vang, I've got markers.
Okay.
So I always think it's critical to have reference points.
Yeah.
So upwind, if there's a little bit of breeze, this is going to be, it's kind of somewhere between here and here.
Okay. Yeah.
And then on the run, it'll generally be somewhere around on this reference point.
Right.
And again, as there's a little bit more pressure on the run, then put a little bit more vang on. But generally, again, I think the key thing is I've got a reference point.
Yeah.
So I know what I can just repeat everything.
Yeah.
And
how about your centerboard position yesterday? Did you have it like full down, or
No, not really. Generally, probably 80%.
Okay.
So I'm not the expert on it, but I think full down just doesn't feel good, and having less down certainly doesn't stop me climbing and gaining height. So I think I did 10 years in the mirrors, and one of the key things in the mirrors is boat speed is king. So if you go fast, the dagger board actually starts working and takes you up anyway.
Right.
So I think a little bit in the same with the solo. If you're going fast, you'll naturally get a bit of height.
Yeah.
Whatever the board is. So anyway, about 80% down. I think back to the out haul. You know, I'm certainly not having that sort of fullness. Generally, I'll lock it off, and if I need fullness, I just ease off on the in haul.
Okay.
See, even where I've got this now, if I put the in haul on,
Yeah.
you can see it actually pulls down the Cunningham.
Yeah, I see that.
Let alone having it down here.
Yeah.
So as long as that comes down to about here max. So I think the general ethos, I just keep it simple. That's what works for me. Everybody's got their own style.
How about your body trim? Hiking upwind, and then your positioning in the boat. You know, when you're going upwind, are you up right near the thwart, or are you trying to get the bow down? Or
so this is a Mark II. I've previously had Mark Is. I'm thinking about going back to a Mark I. I think they both have their little sweet spots. So different things work for different people. But no, upwind, I'm generally, to me the Mark II it's a much more buoyant boat. Yeah. So I don't need to be far forward, I don't need to be back, so I'm generally just near against the thwart maximum. Mm-hmm. And even going downwind, that's where I am. Mm-hmm. So I feel going forwards at the thwart, there's no need for it. And also yesterday we got a little bit of a chop, not much, so you don't want to be diving into that. So this is a perfectly nice position, nicely balanced. I think the other thing for me is so I've been sailing 5 years now solo. So 5 years ago I was 5 kilos heavier. Yeah. So during lockdown I took up a load of indoor cycling, so I've lost about 5 kilos, and I think I now suffer upwind in a blow. Okay. I'm just not as competitive. Yeah. Offwind, not an issue. So I'm 76 kilo, 5'7", 1.7 meters. So I'm not a tall guy, which but I also just like lighter breeze anyway. Yeah. I find it's more calming. So
in this HD, it's obviously it's one of the old ones. Yeah. It's obviously the golden, the Max. The HD Max Gold.
Not by choice. If I could have one of our taxis, newer black ones, that would be very nice. But I don't know if he's modified them in slightly or not. But
it proves it proves the longevity of the sail as well.
Yeah. No, it's got a few little patches which need there, but it's. For me, it's definitely. I think it's too full a sail in 20 knots. Yeah. So for me, it's just too much. It's got way too much power. But in the lighter stuff, I feel like I've got plenty of boat speed. So just need to point it in the right direction.
Well, thank you for that. I'll pass that on to all our members.
Excellent.
To take on, and look forward to seeing you out in the water today.
Yeah, nice one. Cheers, Will.
Cheers, Nigel. Thank you, mate.